Yes.
US, yeah.
All right. It's coming up.
I
We
think
are
it's
live.
So we are live. Ellen, welcome, Ellen, and thank you so much for always doing these seminars for us. These are very insightful for students, and people love it. The topics that you choose, they are very extremely interesting. Um, Today's topic is probably how to do large scale reporting. And when I looked at the numbers, you try to combine 382 reports into one Excel. Wow. So I'm just like everybody else. I'm very keen on learning how you did that, or what are the best practices and everything. So please go ahead, Ellen. The floor is all yours.
all right. So thank you, Arun sir, and also everyone. Okay, so good day, good morning, good night, maybe in US. Can everyone see my screen? So if you can see my screen, maybe you can just type number one in the chat box. And if you can hear me, just type number two in the chat box because this is an online session. I hope you can hear me. Okay, just type number one if you can see the screen, and please type number two if you can hear me. Okay, because this is an online session, I just want to make sure everyone is on the same page. So, like what mentioned by Arun earlier, we are going to combine because if you look carefully, I have also shared that particular folder in the chat box. So, to just let you know, we are going to combine 382 files in one Excel report. So, now you just have a look. Okay, so let me open 4001 local hardware. So when I open this 4001 local hardware, you will notice that in this particular report, what we have is we have like a budget, we have this accounting details like the sales. And on your right hand side, if you notice, we do have like the region, country, and then we also have the city and the shop name. Okay. So my dear friends, can you see this particular file? If you can see this particular file, can you type number three in the chat box? Okay. So just to make sure everyone is on the same page. Okay, just type number three if you can see this particular report. So what we want to do is, my dear friends, we want to actually consolidate this, not only this report, but also other 300 files. So the name of this sheet is 4001. So now let me just close this sheet and go to another file. Okay, let me just open maybe 4023 roadway bike stop. So I'm going to open this. So when you look carefully, when I open a different file, you have a different tab name or a different sheet name, and you have a different details. Just now was London, but now you have Birmingham, and you have a different shop and so on. So what I want to do is I want to consolidate all this because it is tedious if I want to copy and paste one by one, right? So what I can do is I can actually use Power Query to solve our case. So just to let you know where I save this folder. Okay, now this folder name is budget. Under this budget folder, we have about 382 files. And where I save this, I save under downloads. I save under downloads. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to this Excel file. So basically we can use a Excel file to integrate, to import data. That means we click this data over here. So when we click the data, there is a thing called get data. So my dear friends, can you all see here get data? If you can see get data, just type number 4 in the chat box. So what we do is we go to the get data. Get data is the place where you can actually import data. Be it you want to import from Excel, you want to import from PDF, you want to import from folder, or you want to import from the internet also can. But in this case, I'm not going to import from internet or Excel or PDF. What I want to import is from folder because we have we have saved all the files, 300 files in that folder. So I'm going to click from folder. Once I click from folder, you will notice that a box will appear. So my dear friends, can you all see the box? If you can see this box over here, can you type number 5 in the chat box? Okay, to just let you know, my dear friends, just be clarified that this one, you need to know where you save. Okay, you need to know whether you save in your downloads, your documents, or you save in a particular folder. But in this context, where I save is, I save under downloads, and this is my file. I just click once and I press open. So once I press open, what happened is, another box will appear. Now it will show us all these files. Okay, so this is the files that I want to combine. So instead of pressing combine, I will click transform data. Because why? Transform data basically will go to Power Query Editor. So I'm going to click on transform data, and eventually, like I told you, we will be navigated to Power Query Editor. So if you are working in a data integration job, whether it's Power BI or Excel, okay, or any ETL service. ETL means extract, transform, load. When it comes to data integration, it's better for you to know Power Query, because Power Query is a very powerful feature to import data and to transform data. So now if you see here, in this particular column, we do have a column name content. And when I click here, so normally, if just say you have 5 files, for example, 5 different files, you can do one by one. That means you select this file and then you select the sheet and then you can press OK. But the problem right now is I have 300 files. It will be tedious for me to select one by one, right? Okay, so I don't want to waste my time. And what if we have a manager who is angry? So right now in this context, how we want to actually import all this into one? Well, what I want you all to do is, I want you all to refer to here, there is a thing called add column. Under add column, we have a custom column. So my dear friends, can you see custom column? If you can see custom column, can you type number 5 in the chat box? So here we have custom column. So custom column, what I want to do is, I will use a particular function, a particular formula to actually combine all these files. So I'm going to click custom column. A box will appear, and then y'all will notice over here, I'm going to write here Excel workbook. Okay, what is Excel workbook? Excel workbook is a formula. If just say you have a pen and paper, you can write this down. Excel workbook is basically a formula which captures a table, a formula that captures a sheet, a formula that captures a data from a particular file. So I'm going to put open bracket. So what it does is it returns the content of an Excel workbook. So here we have about 300 plus Excel workbook. So I'll just select the content and insert close bracket. So basically what this Excel workbook does is it will try to extract the information from all the files. Then I press OK. When I press OK, what happens is you will be noticed that they will try to add a column here. So this is the new column. What I need to do is I need to expand. I expand and I press OK. So now we will have another new columns will appear as well. So it will take some time. So here, this is the basically the sheet name. And this is the thing that we want to expand, because the name is custom data. So I want to expand this. So once I expand this and I press OK, you will notice that a magic will appear. Magic means now it will try to expand all the information. See here, initially we saw like sales, item, the account code, January, December, and then over here you can see the region, country, city. So if just see I scroll down, this is for the second one, 4002. When I scroll down, you will see this is 4003, still London. When I scroll down again, this is 4004. So basically now we have already combined all the things into one. But the problem is I cannot simply press home and close and load, because the data is not organized properly. If you look carefully, what we do have in this information, we do have the accounting information, like for example, sales, cost of sales, gross profit, overhead, right? And then we also have like net profit. Okay, and then just to let you know, we also have the monthly information like January, February, up to December. Okay, and then we also have like region, country, and also city and shop. So now what I want to do is I want to capture this information first, because different file got different region, different country, different city, and different shop name. So this is the name of the column is column 15, column 16. So what I'll do is I'll go to add column. Okay, and I'll play with conditional column. So if just say you want to master your knowledge in Power Query, one of the important feature is the conditional column, because conditional column we will have the if, then, else. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on conditional column. Okay, when I click conditional column, a box will appear. So if this is column 15, so I'm going to click on column 15. Okay, so this is column number 15. So if column 15 is equivalent to the word called region, the spelling is correct and you must make sure the R is uppercase. So it's very case specific. So region, then I want it to capture column number 16. Okay, so I'll just select column number 16, and otherwise it should be null. All small letters and press OK. So if you just let you know, null means it is blank. Okay, so if you notice, if just say it's region, here it shows Europe. Then I'll do the same thing. So I'll go to conditional column. What I'll do this time is, okay, this one is column number 15. is equivalent to this one. I put here country. Okay, column 15 must equal to country. Then I'll put here, select a column, capture column 16. And otherwise it's null. Okay, so this one I'll just do one by one. Okay, here we have Europe, here we have United Kingdom. I need to do two more because for the city and shop, conditional column. And here I'll go column 15. Why column 15? Because all this information is located in column 15, equal to city, capital C. And this one I want select a column, which is column number 16. And here I put here null. Okay, and I press OK. So here we have this information. And last one is shop. So conditional column. Here I put here the shop name. 15. Shop. Here I'll put here as equivalent to column 16. Okay, just bear with me. I'm going to write the column number 16. And I press here null. Okay, all must have small letters. And I press OK. So now here you go. So here we have this information. Even though it's located in a different rows, what we can do is we can select all this, right click, and we can press fill down. So when we fill down, automatically it will fill down. So here what we can see, the interesting part is, so just say when I load more, we will have more than one region, not only from Europe. Basically, we will have like one from Africa, one from Asia, and one from America. So we have a lot of region because it's more than 300 files. And the same thing goes for the countries as well. So we're not only limited to United Kingdom, we also actually have more, like one from India, from Algeria, and so on. Okay, so this is how it looks like. So now here we have the region, the country, the city, the shop. What we need to do next is we need to clear the other columns. Like for example, these columns is not necessary. So you can actually remove the column. So these columns all I select, I remove. Okay. If just say you want to do very fast, you can go to home, you can click choose column, and here you can just select which one is the redundant one. But I prefer to do one by one because sometimes data is very sensitive. So we don't know, we want to make sure that all the columns, okay, so this column also I want to remove. Okay, this column I remove. So now we have the accounting information, the account code, the monthly data, and yep. And for total also, I don't want the total. I don't want this sheet, delete. So here also, this one also I don't want, I click. Okay, and this one I want to appear in the beginning. So I select all these columns, right click. When you press right click, this menu command will appear. I click move to the beginning. Instead of me dragging one by one, I click move to beginning. So here at the beginning, you'll have this. So this is the region, this is the country, city, and then the accounting shop, right? Okay, so now what I'm going to do next is I want to actually capture the group items as well. Like for example, like sales, because if you see here, sales is null, cost of sales is null. So I want to capture this important information, like for example, sales. Okay, so I want to capture this. So what I'll do is I'll try to go to add column again, and I'm going to choose conditional column. So this is column number 3. So select column number, sorry, not column number 3, column number 4. Because if you notice carefully, if just say column number 4 as null, then it should appear sales. Column number 4 is null, it should appear cost of sales. So I'll just put here null, and this one should select a column, and I want to select column number 3. So column number 3, and otherwise it should be null. And I press OK. So now we have here, so this one also I can move to the beginning. Okay, and I'll just manually drag. Okay, so now if you see here we have sales, here we have total sales, cost of sales, gross profit, overhead, and so on. Okay, all this information. So what I'll do is I'll just right click, and what I'll do is I will fill down. So it will fill down automatically. And then what you can do next is, if you want to remove the first 7 rows, so I can do what? Go to home, remove row, remove the top row because the first 7 is not necessary. So remove top row and 7 rows, press enter. So now this is the information. So here we have region, country, city, the shop name. Okay, and then after that, what I want to do next is, okay, this is the sales. And I can also do what? The first row I can make as a header, because you see here, the first row we have January, February. So I can put first row as header. So right now it will appear first row as header, but then we still have the unnecessary information like the sales, null, and so on. So what you can actually do is you can actually clear filter. So what I'll do is first thing is let me just unselect. So I will unselect null. I will unselect cost of sales, and then let me just go down. So not this one. So I want unselect. Maybe this one. Yes, unselect, unselect, unselect this, unselect this, unselect this. Okay, so this is what I want, all this information, and yeah, press OK. So here you go. So here we have the sales, the total sales, all this information. So basically we have removed all the items properly. Yep, there you go. And yep. So now what I'll do next is here we have the account code. So I'll select January up to December. And the next step is I'll go to transform and unpivot column. So unpivot column, there you go. So now here we have the region. So I'll rename this as region. Okay, this is country. This one is city. Okay, this one also you can separate the number and also the word. So you can actually go to split column by delimiter, and then I'll just click over here. So custom, and I'll put here by a dash, and then I press OK. So what we do is we have separate this. So this one I'll put here shop number. In SAP we call it as cost center. Here I'll just put as shop name. Okay, this one we have the groups. Okay, so I'll just put as group items. This one is subgroup items. Okay, so this is account code, and this one is the months. And this one you want to put in INR, up to you, but I'll just change the format to whole number. So now we have all this information. We can go to home and close and load. So when I press close and load, eventually what happens is it will load the data because we have about 300 plus files, all with a different sheet name. So what happens is when you load, you will see we have all the information. So when you are talking about, when I click over here, we have about 382 files. So we must make sure that it captures everything. That means from the last to 40383 pretty bikes and toys. So now you just say I click over here. So we have all the items until the end, which is 40383. And we need to make sure the last one we have the pretty bright. Okay, so this one is sorted by alphabetical. So you can see here, we will have all that pretty bikes and toys. So it will capture until the end. So when I press control down, until the end, 40383 and so on. And the interesting part is you can also capture the, instead of loading as a table, you can do data analysis. That means right click and then press load to. So instead of loading as a table, I can load as a pivot table. I press OK. So once I press OK over here. So now if just say you want to see the performance for maybe each countries. So what you can do is this one, what you do is you can just put the group items and the columns. So I don't want to see everything. I only want to see the net profit. So unselect all, select net profit. Okay, net profit, press OK. And then after that, I can just tick the values. So here we notice that this is basically the net profit. And instead of this data, what I actually want is I want the months. So I put the months. So now we have this information. Okay, so yeah, this is the months. Okay, wait, the months over here. And now what I'll do is right click, number format, and I put here accounting. And of course, I don't want the symbol, and I press OK. So now we can actually read properly. So this is actually the information. This is basically the net profit. But if you just say you want to know for each country, so you put the country over here. So now we have all the countries. So you can see Algeria and so on. And then you can actually go to the insert slicer. You can actually click based on region. Okay, region, and press OK. So just say I click on Asia. We can see China, India, Japan, Mongolia. When I click Europe, so this is Europe, Americas, Africa. Okay, so what we learn from here is, we learn number one is how we can actually import 300 files in one go. Number two is we do some data transformation. Number three is we load as a pivot table, and from here we can do data analysis. So Power Query is for data extraction and data extraction and data cleaning. Pivot table is for data analysis. So my dear friends, did you learn something? So I got tissue the steps, but if you don't understand, you can type your questions in the chat box. Okay, so my friends, did you learn something? If you have questions, you can ask in the chat box. So this is how we can actually import 300 plus files in one go. You can actually learn from me. And then what you can do is you can upload this in your LinkedIn, and then you can put it like a portfolio that I have actually uploaded 300 files in one report. So this is in one report and so on. So my friends, do you have any questions? If no questions, then we will proceed to the Q&A session. So you have any questions, you can ask. If you have no questions, then I can pass the floor to maybe Prem Sai or Arun sir. Okay, I combine. I never append. Okay, there's a question in the chat box by Ridimam. You see, that's the difference thing is I combine. Append is when you use append query. Okay, that's the thing. I'll just press right click. Okay, let me press right click and I press edit. Okay, so what is append? Append means, let me just click it over here. Append is when you just combine the table based on similar header. In this context, I never append. What I did was I actually extract it from a folder. When you extract a folder, okay, you are able to append it automatically. So Ridima, did I answer your question? Because our source, as you can see, the source is basically from a folder. I did not import from a file. Ridima, did I answer your question? Okay, if you can just type yes if I did answer your question. Anyone else with any questions? What I did was I import from a folder. I never import from Excel file. So that's why it's not appended. It will eventually combine. Anybody with questions? It
I
combined
want to,
yes. It combined horizontally, Ridima. Yes, Arun?
yeah, I want to just tell people that the best way to enjoy Ellen's webinar is to first hear him out because he gives you a live demo. And after you, maybe you're not as fast as him right now, but you can watch this video in uh, in slow speed or fast speed as you desire, and you got to practice these kind of things because these kind of challenges may come to you in real life as well. Because whatever Ellen brings up, these are actual stories from his real life situations that he's handling well. So I would urge you all to practice, regardless of whether you are in SQL or Power BI or Excel or data engineering or architecture. Please practice, guys. Please make time. It's for your own career. That's all. Ellen.
Right. So if you have any questions, you can ask in the chat box. No questions, then maybe we can end. So if you have any questions, yeah, you can ask.
I think people will practice and take time, and they're most welcome to send their questions in the group as well. Whichever group you are in, we'll pick it up, and these questions will be answered uh, as time permits. So, thank you guys for attending today. And Ellen, as always, you've done a wonderful job. Keep them coming. These sessions are very, very insightful. Sometimes I look at these sessions myself and think, what if I had this kind of problem? How would I solve it? And these sessions are very, very effective. Small sessions, very specific about real life problems. And sometimes these also come as interview questions. And how would you do that? Because they're seeing whether you can, do you know basic Excel, or can you scale up to higher responsibilities. So thank you once again, Ellen, and we'll wrap up now.
Right.
Thank you.
All right.
We'll just exit.